Hey, what's up? My name is Ange. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be doing a double wrap-up, and we are going to be going over all of the books that I read in March and April. We're just going to get right into it. It feels like forever since I have read some of these books, so if I'm a little off, I am one of those people who reads a book, rates it, reviews it, and then completely forgets about the entire thing, so my apologies in advance. I don't know how this is gonna go. But starting off with the very first book that I read in March, which was Sinful Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which is book number 5 in the Like Us series. If anybody here does not know, I am a huge fan of the Addicted Calloway Sister series, and then I ended up wanting to read the Like Us series, which is the Addicted Calloway Sister series Children. So this book follows Jane and Thatcher. If you don't know, this is a billionaires and bodyguards? It's like something like that. I don't want to give away too much about this one. This is the second and last book of Jane and Thatcher. I think that they only get 2 of them. Feels like forever since I actually saw this one. I don't want to give away too much of this because it just is a continuation of their story. The Like Us series is a continuation timeline, kind of like the Addicted Calloway Sister series, where a lot of people call it like a character study, where we're just following along in their lives. I will tell you that Jane is Rose and Connor's daughter, their firstborn, and this is her bodyguard Thatcher. So the covers are so cute. I love these ones. They're my favorite. I hate to start it off bad, but I did, unfortunately, because Rose and Connor are my favorite, I did only rate this one 2.5 stars. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that one either. I wanted to love it a lot more than I did. I just feel like I don't love these characters together. I don't feel the chemistry like a lot of people do with them. I wanted to love them, but I'm unfortunately kind of happy that I'm not reading about them anymore. I just wish I loved them more together. Bit of a spoiler, but the game that the Cobalt children all play with Thatcher was my favorite part of this entire book. I wish we got more of that, like having the book be more centered around that than what it actually was about. I'm honestly kind of disappointed with this one, which didn't make this video nor this reading month start off all that strong, but on to the next in the Like Us series, I guess, and I guess that'll leave it for me for Jane and Thatcher, when I see them in other books, but kind of was a letdown with that one personally. The next book that I read, I actually listened to this one, and that was The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie, which is a daughter's quest for freedom. I actually listened to this one, and I'm really happy that I listened to it instead of physically reading it, because I think these types of books you have to listen, especially because she voiced it herself. Like, it was incredible. The author of this book is the eldest daughter, Sherry Frankie, who wrote about the true shocking story of 8 Passengers. If anybody does not know 8 Passengers, you guys can go and review that. I won't be really talking about what that was about, but it is her and her family's story told from her perspective, the whole truth and everything that everybody should know. I don't rate people's lives. I don't rate true things. Don't have a star rating that I can put on somebody's experience, so I don't have an actual review / rating. All I really can say is that it was very interesting to listen to, and hearing it from Sherry herself was absolutely incredible, and being able to hear her story told by her was what I think is pretty much the only way to do it. The next book that I picked up was Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. This one followed Reese and Sadie, and it is like a college hockey figure skater romance. For how short it was, I think it actually took me a genuinely long time to get through it. It took me about a month, so I started this one February 19th and I finished it on March 18th. I ended up rating this one 3 stars. I picked it up, got maybe like this much through it, put it down, didn't pick it up again, and then started reading again and absolutely flew through it. It was a good cleanser. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It gave me a mix between like Icebreaker and Binding 13, like The Boys of Toman, if you know, you know. Did end up picking up the second one, Unloved, I think is what it was. I think it's a green cover. I did end up picking that up because I do really enjoy it. It just wasn't crazy. Like I said, it was a college hockey romance figure skater. Sadie is the figure skater. She is doing custody hearings with her younger brother. Reese is like the star. He took a really bad hit and then has trouble getting back on the ice, and they end up obviously together. It definitely was a cute read. Our book club read for the month of March was Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. This one follows the author Grady Green. He's having the worst day of his life. His wife goes missing. A year after he loses his wife, he can't sleep, he can't write, so he travels to this like remote island and he thinks that he sees his wife. Full kind of like a shorter version in case we do talk about it. I rated this one 2 stars. I didn't love it. I was really disappointed in the fact that I didn't love it because I spent about 75% of the way through this book absolutely bored out of my mind. I won't say that the twist wasn't twisting and that the end didn't freak me out, but at the same time, I don't know if it made full sense to me. Like, I understood it, I just didn't love it. Took me a very long time to even get through the majority of this book. I was confused with the back and forth, which obviously that is the point. However, I wanted to love it a lot more than I did because I loved Alice Feeney's other books, but this one just wasn't it for me. I don't know if it was me at the time that I was reading it or what the heck it was. I'm sorry, it just wasn't 100% for me. Sometimes I don't like stories where you'll never understand the ending, like you never see it coming. Sometimes that's great, but other times I'm like, you know what, there was no possible way that I ever would have known that that was going to happen, and this was one of those books for me, like you just wouldn't know that, so I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as I wish that I could have. I have mixed emotions on this. I still think about this book a lot, and we have still yet to talk about it, so I don't even know what my friends think about it. The next books that I read, the highly anticipated tandem read of Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. These are books, is it 5 and 6? Yeah, it's 5 and 6. I did end up doing the tandem read of these. Surprisingly, who is proud of me? Where's the thing? That's the tandem read, everybody. Marked off every single one. I have to say that I am so happy that I ended up doing the tandem read. I think that if I didn't, I would have regretted it. I know it took me about 2.5 months to finish, but I am so happy that I did. For those of you who don't know, this tandem read is from Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. Again, books 5 and 6. I think this is 5 and this is 6, or this is 5. I don't know, but I read it as a tandem read. If you don't know, Throne of Glass follows Selena Sarduthian, who is entering a competition to be the king's assassin so she can get out of the slave camp that she is in, and this huge entire series is her story, and that's really all I'll do because I don't want to ruin it for you if you have not read these yet. I rated both of these 5 stars. I absolutely love them both. I feel like I can't rate anything in that series anything less than that. They're both just incredible. And I think the tandem read really helped me be able to get through some more difficult or boring parts in Tower of Dawn because I was looking forward to this book, or vice versa. So a little bit of a spoiler section if you have read these books. If you haven't, skip forward. If you have, let's talk about these really quick because I feel like my reviews are just so incomplete when I can't talk about them. These books, I loved seeing the group in 2 different places. Again, reading it as a tandem read was absolutely incredible and an amazing experience. So being able to see what this group over here was doing at the exact same time of what like Kale was doing over here was incredible. It was also really awesome to see all of the people from, was it Assassin's Blade? The Assassin's Blade, because I believe I read that 4th or 3rd. Being able to see them pop back up and see how they were helping the story, but they were introduced so long ago, was really amazing. So I really enjoyed that. I can't believe that the tandem read is over. I was so scared of it for so long that I can't believe I got through it and I'm still alive. So those are all the books for the month of March. So I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books in the month of March. Thing was is that I barely read anything in the month of April. So the only books that I read in the month of April were these 2. But I'll get into that. So starting off in the month of April, I did start Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas at the end of March when I finished the tandem read. However, look at this thing. I did not finish, but we'll get to that. I did read book number 5 in the Boys of Tommen series, which is Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. This one follows Gibbsy. I love Gibbsy. Love Gibbsy. And his friend's little sister, his Claire Bear, his Sunshine Girl. I put this book off for a very long time. I'm pulling up my review. Oh, I didn't even write anything, but I did rate it. excited to read it. Don't know how to really say how I feel about this one. I put this one off for a very long time because I know every single, obviously, Boys of Tobin book has a very heavy topic that you're dealing with and a lot that goes on. I love Gibbsy. I was really excited for Gibbsy's book. I put it off because I know it was going to hurt. I was upset that there was only one Gibbsy book, but I don't know, maybe we'll get more in the future. You can see it's pretty small in comparison to the others. Releasing 10 is coming out, but I don't know how I feel about that one. And if you read Taming 7, you'll understand what I mean, like why I'm not really all that excited for Releasing 10. I think it's Releasing 10. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I did end up rating this one 4 stars. Although the writing is really great and I do enjoy continuing on with the story and hearing about these characters and following the friend group, this story broke my heart and I feel like Gibbsy deserved more, and I'm just not super excited for the next book. If you have read this, you might know what I mean. I have a lot of mixed emotions and I'm still thinking about this book. Obviously with all of these books, please check warnings on absolutely everything, but I will probably read Releasing 10, but I'm not overjoyed about it. And the final book that I read in the month of April was Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas, which is book number 7 and the final book of the Throne of Glass series. This is a giant book. It is 980 pages of just so much. Like, if I throw this at you, like, you're gonna get like a really bad paper cut and it might hurt. You might get a concussion from this thing. It was insane. Obviously, like I said before, I don't want to spoil it too much. It's just the final book. A lot comes out in here. You get a lot of threads are tied up. This one took me about a month to read. A lot of war was happening. Was one of those big ones. What was it? A Court of Wings and Ruin, I believe, is the one that was like mostly war for ACOTAR. So this one felt the same to me. I really loved that everyone was together again, and I really loved that we were able to wrap up the story. I can't stop thinking about how, if her name is probably said differently, I cannot stop thinking about how Man in Blackbeak just deserved so much more, and I can't stop thinking about her. I want to see her somewhere else, please. Like, it can't end like this for her. But that was my only critique. The only thing that I personally wish that I could have gotten more of. I'm finally done with this series, which is insane to say because I started this March of 24, so it took me 13 months to read, but just wow. I can't believe that it is actually over. It was an incredible series. If you haven't read it, you have to read it, and I really enjoyed it. I just can't believe it's done. When you're looking at them, it's like, I feel like I read nothing these past 2 months. Like 6 in March, but only 2 in April, but like, I finished this at the end of March, and then I read this all in April. Like, look at how many, whoa, can't even hold them, they're so heavy. Like, look how many pages that is altogether. Like, of course it took me a while. I gotta be easier on myself. I'm still reading, and that's all that counts. But, I don't know. I think that May's wrap-up is gonna be better. I'm already on I just finished book number 2, which, I mean, I read the most of the other book in the month of April, but whatever, we're just gonna pretend because technically it still gets looped into May, so whatever, it is what it is. It's not my fault, it's just the rules. So that brings this video to an end. Those were all of the books that I read in March and April. Hopefully I will actually film the May wrap up and not combine them again, but I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Thanks, bye.